Please don't.
You like that, man?
I'd rather you call me Specky, to be honest. Some girl from the pub was doing that last night. It was
I
just
thought you said you didn't go
weird.
to the pub, dude.
Kicking
I
it
did
on at the
last
pub,
night, the night before. With the
Uh,
coronation happening, but
wait, what? Is that like a national holiday? Yo, dude, I have to ask you, what is a bank holiday?
a bank holiday.
I don't think we have those in America.
It's actually like just a day off for like
What the fuck is...
loads of companies and stuff. I really don't know how else to describe it if I'm being honest.
We we have public holidays. That's what we call them in
It's probably
Australia.
that then.
Why like bank? Is that like specifically for banks?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, I wasn't there when they invented them.
Fuck,
So
that's right. I'm asking the wrong guy. I'm barking with the wrong guy. You know what I'm
I
saying?
would call personally, I called them Doofa holidays if I was there, but
Oh my god, Doofa holidays.
That
Yeah,
sounds
man.
good. We got to get around
get
it.
the ego going, sort of thing.
Yeah, would you say you're UK's most famous resident? Or like definitely in the top 5? Yeah?
Maybe.
He's
All
up
right,
there for sure.
I think it is time to start the review. I don't know if anyone is watching on the stream, but if you are, thank you for being here. And if you're watching on YouTube, that's even better, because this is about to be a lit-ass review. We're doing it Destined 2 with who?
Louoh.
Yeah,
I
and
was gonna say, which one are you pointing at?
Yeah.
my Discord is using this camera, but then my stream
Oh,
is using
okay.
this camera, so I'm like,
I wasn't sure who it was pointing at, but yeah. So Louoh and
Doofa.
Doofa. And Louoh.
That's
All
it.
right. I don't know the extensive history of your two working together. So was this like the first time that you guys like worked on a project together?
Nah, we've done a few.
Yeah, I mean there was Destined I,
Right.
so
Yeah.
So this was like you guys
Yeah.
know each other pretty well. in
Yeah,
terms of,
me
like,
and
a
Doofa
creative
go way
sense,
back.
right?
Yeah.
When did Doofa and Louoh start? Like how long ago?
Oh fuck.
I think it was the Scars thumbnail, wasn't it?
You'd know better than
I
me. man.
think it is.
Yeah,
I think it
probably.
is because I think
So
I
when was
remember. Blown up in 2020, I think.
Yeah. Fuck.
2020.
I don't know how
so
I remember that, but
That's a long time. You guys have been like that's a
Yeah.
strong, 3 years.
Yeah, it keeps coming back to me, man. I don't know what it is.
He's a satisfied customer.
Yes, sir.
In other words, Doofa, would you say that you are a satisfied customer? Is Louoh your favorite editor to work with ever?
Oh,
that's a difficult
think
question.
carefully, my friend.
Yeah, you gotta. Hey, don't say anything too spicy now.
I mean, he's the right man for the job, sort of thing. You know, I'm very satisfied with knowing what I'm going into with him. So
Right. That makes
That's
sense.
the right answer, my friend.
Yeah.
That's the right answer.
I had to study that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, good.
Maybe I'll ask that again at the end, like after you've had some time to think about it. But we'll go with just
Yeah.
Louoh for now.
Off the top of my head, though, yeah.
Louoh, who's the best player you've ever worked with? In all terms of like clips, their ease of like creative collaboration, like what they wanted you to do,
so there's-
like what they let you do.
Okay, now that you say that, it kind of changes my answer a little bit. Because there was a really easy answer to say, right? Like Frostbolt would be probably number one in terms of clips, because like there's
Right.
just no one that's come close. Well, actually, there's a few. Like Doofa's clips are pretty nuts, actually. Now that I think about it, but like,
Actually surprises me. I mean,
nah, there's also some other people too. Like, but just on the top of my head. But basically, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, like Frost, like he was like really good to work with, but there was a lot of stuff that kind of goes into it. So in terms of like just getting it done, I have one client named Promise. His clips are just like really like satisfying to work on, and he gives me a lot of like creative freedom.
Okay.
So yeah, that's probably like my favorite to work on.
If you had to take like Promise, Doofa, and Frost and rank them in terms of like the creative freedom they give you, like how would you order that?
So Probably Frost the least in terms of creative freedom, only in the sense because he knows what he wants. But it's hard to say because he also does give me the creative freedom, but he gives me the direction too. Like it's a lot more of a collaboration. Like he's just really on board with it. But
like he likes
you know, his ideas
in the project.
exactly. Yeah, but his ideas, I'm all down for it. You know what I mean? So it's never like a bad experience in that sense at all. But yeah, Doofa next, and then Promise would be after that. But you know, Doof is pretty similar to Promise in that sense, like in just kind of letting me do what I do.
Who's got better?
It's really nice.
Better clips between Doofa and Promise.
Oh, Doofa though, for sure.
Good answer.
Like Promise is good, but like Doofa hits the fucking slays, man.
Doofa hits the Slayers. The Slayers get you paid.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. All right.
Yep.
It's been a while, but you know.
Hey, Supremacy's back. You better get your ass back in the Crucible, my guy. You got some clips to...
That's the
I
clip hitting
been.
playlist, man.
Oh god, remember what that was like in D1? Jesus, easy clips.
Doofa, you can't hit clips at the pub. There's no.
That's true.
No Slayers
That's
at the
true.
pub. No Reapers there. You know.
No, I'm getting back on it. I'm getting.
Oh, really? For real? Back in like the clip hitting grind.
I'm getting back in. Well, I'm getting back into the just Destiny vibe. I mean, it's been a while, so.
What's got you like? What's the biggest thing that's got you back into the Destiny vibe?
I think the simplest thing would just say Lightfall, but I don't know. That's the tricky one. I guess a lot because I still play with like Deadcool and Drago and people like that, and hopping on with them.
Now, how many hours do you think you average a day every week of playing Destiny?
Oh, on Destined, on Destiny a week, like 12 hours maybe. Like I'll hop on for a bit and then.
Right. Okay.
A guy will shoulder charge me and then I lose my temper. So.
Naturally, I would do the same.
Call it quits.
That's all right. Tanner, do you play Destiny?
Yeah, I've got like 15 hours in the last 2 weeks. So
Okay.
like,
yeah, I was like curious if you are like a daily player or
like there was a time where I just fucking lived on that game, but I got a job recently and it's just like I don't really have the time to jump on all the time. But you know, on the weekends when I got some time, you know, when something's rendering or whatever, I'll just hop on for a few hours.
Facts. I think
I got a few friends that I'll just play some shit with.
Yeah, it's a really underrated quality of the game is like how easy it is to just like pick up and play. Like you're right into something.
Mm-hmm.
Like the most you have to wait is 5 minutes to matchmake, find a lobby for a Crucible or like a strike or whatever the fuck you're doing.
And it's really easy to just jump straight off if you like don't want to keep playing.
That too. That's I feel like a lot of people don't think about that, but that's something that like a lot of games like these days are emphasizing is like how fast you can go from loading the game to playing it. Like that's really important for them, especially because you know like attention spans are getting shorter, so you don't have a lot of time for people loading and shit because they'll just get bored.
Yeah.
Plus, when there'll be a new generation playing Destiny, trying to swipe the screen like it's TikTok. I mean,
can't play Destiny without the what do they call it? The Subway Surfer.
Dude, no, I see Subway Surfer like when I close my eyes. Like that's what I see playing in my head.
Dang.
All right, so let's discuss the music choice, the music that's going on. We have 2 rock songs. One is a rock cover, which is a banger. Did you consider doing any other genres besides rock?
No, if I'm being honest.
I
I say,
don't think so, no.
rock is kind of a go-to for me. It's kind of like my favorite genre. So I can't remember exactly how I found the first song, but the second song was actually we changed it, didn't we? What
was it before that?
It was going to be Ocean Eyes.
Yeah. And I had fully edited it. And he wanted to change the idea, and I was like, "No, it's all good, bro. Like, we'll just change it."
Yeah, like I say, I was just like, I mean, I thought, "There's this other song. If it's cool by you, we can change it."
Yeah. And like, I was just in the zone, and I had done like maybe the last third of the montage that day, I think.
Holy
and
shit.
I was ready to just keep pumping it, and then he tells me that, and I was like, honestly, I listened to the second song, I was like, fuck that. I can just do the whole thing, and just I moved the clips around because the tempo is pretty similar. So I just kind of tweaked what I already had, and then just made it all fit, and it worked.
So it wasn't like a huge hassle to switch to that other song. Like it was like a little like things were kind of already laid out.
No. It set it back a little bit. I can't remember by how much, but it wasn't anything
but
too
you were
crazy.
like, you're popping off. You're like, fuck it, dude, I'll do it.
Do you remember Doofa?
Well, like I didn't even know that you got that far into the first song that we chose, to be honest. But...
No, I was like 75, 80% some done. Like I just had a few more clips to do. But like I said, like it was no big deal because it's not like I went and did all the cinematics and then did all the polishing and stuff. It was just kind of the clips and laid out with the effects and stuff.
Right. Okay. So what? So wasn't like if you had been like completely done and Doofa was like, yo, let's change the song, would you be like, nah? Or...
Well, if he was adamant on it, like, I just see what the move is. Like, if we can save what we've already done and maybe use some new clips on that new song, or like just whatever. Like,
selfish Doofa.
Yeah.
Very selfish.
Bro
is going to the bottom of favorite clients list.
I asked him, like I said, because I ask all the time, like if it's not too much of a big issue. Like I say, I asked if it's cool with you, like if it's too late and whatnot, keep the song. Otherwise, if it's alright, can we change it? And like Tanner says, that's exactly what happened. So
yeah, like we're cool enough that like I've been working with him a long time. Like that's perfectly okay for me. Like I have no problem doing that.
Definitely an advantage to building a relationship with a creative partner, because then things like that can happen. If you like just hire commission somebody you have no relationship with, and you're like, and you ask them
you're not gonna get that kind of.
Absolutely not, dude.
Yeah, they'd be like, all right, revision fee kind of thing.
yeah. You'd be paying a little bit.
Yeah.
So, Doofa, is rock your favorite music genre to see in a montage, like bar none?
In a montage, yeah, and that's probably down to the history of like just most Destiny montages have been rock, haven't they? I mean, you got most of the Exile montages, Let Pick of the Saw montages. Right. That kind of vibe has kind of always been set in my mind for
like Destiny has
what I wanted to do as well.
With the genre in general. Tanner, what about you? Do you like seeing rock the most?
Nah. I love rock, but nah. Like, how do I put it? In terms of actually enjoying editing rock, like it gets really just annoying sometimes, just because it's just a bit finicky. Like, I don't know how to describe it. But like when you're really into the song, like it's great. Yeah. But there's a lot of potential for like, this sucks. You know what I mean? Because sometimes the song is just not feeling it, and like the flow is just hard to find, and like sometimes it just doesn't work with rock songs. But a lot of mainstream music and hip hop songs and stuff like that, it's a lot easier to find like an editing groove, kind of no matter what sound it is.
Right. I also am curious. First of all, how long have you been into like making music? Like when did that start? Probably about 3 years now, almost. Okay, so that's kind of recent. Did that change how you like approached editing, like how you approached like looking for songs to edit when you started actually like building the songs from the bottom up?
It didn't really change the song choices per se. Like it probably changed my taste in music, but it more changed my approach for doing sound effects and stuff. Because part of doing the music, I had to learn a lot of sound design and music production and stuff like that. So those kind of skills transferred over a lot easier.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the things that can really take a good montage and like make it a great montage, is if you put the time and care into like designing the sound. Like, of course, not everyone's going to listen with like headphones, but like the people that do are going to be like really impressed.
Exactly.
It's the little details, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's the little details.
The little details.
Yeah, most certainly. Dude, I gotta say, this shit is a fucking banger. But I wanna get your opinions on Destined II versus Destined I. You know,
Oh, I
how
like.
are we
Oh,
how are we gonna rank these? Let's do like clips, editing, and then like
Let me get it up.
I don't know. We'll do clips and editing first.
clips 100% Destined 2. I mean, the opener and closer of Destined 1, still two of my best Destiny 1 clips, but with Destined 2, like I say, I picked literally what I considered to be like my best sniping clips and put them in, and when you compare the two, definitely Destined 2.
Okay. So what about editing? From Doofa
Editing.
first. Doofa first.
So
Oh. Um. Like I say, we had Waltz on Destin 1, and I gotta say he did an insane job. Like I haven't seen anyone sync D1 clips like he has done before.
Bro's the D1
Like
merchant.
yeah, like he honestly, I fully believed he had that game like mastered, like with his editing skills. Like
Would you say that he was better than Aki at D1?
at D1, not
Are they both
first.
like master level?
I don't think at first, but I think. Yeah, I think they are kind of both master level in their own way, but maybe took Waltz a bit longer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So, if you were gonna rank them, you're going Destin 1 for editing. For Destin 2.
Destin 1 for editing, and clips for my part, Destin 2, 100%.
Okay, Tanner.
well, I only did the 3D for the Destin 1, so I'll just go off of the 3D. I just prefer the second one just because it's better and it's newer.
Yeah.
Right.
I was better.
I will say the 3D in Destin 2 is definitely a step up. Like,
Yeah. Naturally, it would. It's How
Yeah.
long later is it? Like a year or something?
like a year and a half, yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. So there's bound to be some improvement.
So speaking of that 3D, Tanner, I want to ask you, how long did just doing the 3D for Destin 2 take? If you had to estimate like hours.
Honestly, not that long. Because it was the Vault of Glass. Like I didn't rebuild that one. That was like just the ripped file.
Right.
So it really wasn't too hard. Like just prepping the character like with some preset animations on Mixamo. Yeah, probably only like 4 or 5 sessions, or maybe like 6 or 7 actually, and like each session maybe 2 or 3 hours.
Do they have other like ripped maps besides Vault of Glass? Like, was that your only option? Or could you have done other
No. There's heaps of other options. Like you can
Okay.
pretty much get like whatever you need.
How did you
Like,
how did you
generally.
decide on Vault then? Just like it looks cool.
Doofa.
Yeah,
yes.
so-
Doofa decided. Okay.
So before Destin 2 actually started, I pitched the idea of how like the 3D would begin the montage, and it was basically leave off from Destin 1, in the tower like it was, loads of deckable, and then portal into the Vault of Glass, and like Tanner said, he just had the file and it worked,
Yeah.
That's interesting. That like kind of originated from you, Doofa, but then Tanner was able to like make it into a way that you guys both liked. That's some synergy right there between the
Just works.
the player and the editor. It definitely just works. I mean, that shit is really cool. It's sick. I like Vogue, and I really like what you did with like the character animations.
Yeah.
And would you say that is like the standout part of the montage for both of you? Or neither?
Probably.
I do really like it.
With the 3D, yeah. Well, it kind of does make the montage. It does stand out from the rest of not only my montages, but with a lot of montages nowadays as well.
Like if you picture it without the 3D at the beginning, do you think that like knocks it down some pegs, like creativity wise, just like?
I think so.
Oh yeah, creativity wise, 100%. I'd say.
I mean, that's another area like sound effects where you take the time to do it, and then people definitely appreciate the like hard work that you do in that respect. Because you can tell when you put like some time and care into like some creative thing,
Yeah. And it's more than
Yeah.
just, putting up a couple clips together on a song. You
Right.
do stuff for an actual reason and with intent.
Yeah. So, Tanner, as an editor, I'm very curious to ask you this question. I want to know your process, like your order of doing things for just an edit in general, because I assume you probably have like an ironed out way that you do for like all editing,
Yeah.
right? Like that's what
Yeah,
I do.
it's
I'm
like
sure that's what most people do.
I really locked it in.
Describe the process for me.
Okay, so first of all, I just download the song. It doesn't really matter what song. And then I just listen to it a little bit, just figure out the pacing and what key sections I need. And then I'll go over the clips. I usually prefer when I've got like a set amount of clips. I don't really like when there's like heaps of clips I have to sort through and choose, because then potentially my choice is then left to be, oh no, I want this one changed for that, or I want this changed for that,
Right.
and I don't want to leave room for that, because obviously you want to be as efficient as you can. So then I just get my clips, and then I figure out kind of the best clips, like the closers, the openers, and then just nice clips to put on the key points of the song. And then sometimes I'll start from the very start of the song, or sometimes I'll just start from like a beat drop or halfway through, wherever I feel like. And then I just start editing the clip, and I'll sync it up, get it all looking nice. And then I'll add the effects as I go, because at this point now I've got like presets for pretty much every other effect that I've made, just like, my own personal presets I've built over time. Excuse me. Basically, then I just add effects on that clip, pre-comp it all together, and then it's just one little video clip and move on to the next one. And just do the same thing. Then pre-comp it, do the next one, and then I just work through it until I got all the clips ready.
Okay.
And then I've got that. That's my main comp, and then I got a bunch of little black spots in between all the clips.
Right.
Then I'll go through, I'll render that through. Usually I'll send that over to Doofa or something as like a draft, so he can take a look at it if he has any revisions for clips or effects, whatever. And then I'll put the CC and stuff for that preview too. And then that's when I'll get a list together for the cinematics, and any other 3D ideas if we haven't finished them. Start working on that, filling them in.
Mm-hmm.
And then sound effects and stuff, it's all last, and then any polishing effects and transitions and stuff.
Interesting.
So
okay. What really honestly caught my attention is when you said that sometimes you'll start from like anywhere in the song.
Yeah.
That's I mean, I guess now that I think about it, it's not like a huge deal, but I've just like personally never done that. So to me, it sounds like, oh man, that sounds crazy. Like I'm not doing that shit. But I guess it wouldn't really make that much of a difference. I don't know.
Yeah, no, because basically sometimes I just want to put a clip at the end. I find a clip that I'm like, oh, this has to go to the bass drop, for example, and I can skip ahead, edit that clip, and then I've got a big spot that I have to put clips in between, and I can do that. So it's no different if I want to start at the end and then I edit backwards. Like, as long as I'm syncing that section that I know it's gonna flow properly, and I just keep it in my mind, then it just works.
How long have you been editing like this? Like forever, basically?
At least 4.5 years, but like it's just accumulated into this like perfect like
and also,
organization
about
system.
The presets, once you get your presets stacked up, like it just goes so
quick.
fast.
Yeah, and especially with effects console too, that hit control space real quick. Oh, so nice.
I was thinking about how long it takes someone if you started editing from zero today, like how long it would take you to build up enough presets to where you are now. Like it would take forever.
With the intent of building presets, or just generally?
With the intent,
because with the intent, you can get it in a couple months.
Yeah, that's true. But then, but like you're saying, like when you realize you need them, then you're like, oh fuck, okay. Now it's.
I just kind of make them as something comes up, and I'm like, oh, I don't have a preset for that. I could probably use that, and then I just do it.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Very insightful into the mind of Tanner. Very insightful.
Yes, sir.
All fucking editors, you better be taking notes on that, because there was a lot of some very, very good information in there, such as his, pre-comp and orders and whatnot. Like that's very smart.
Workflow.
Yeah, and workflow. So if you think your workflow sucks, I would definitely just copy whatever Tanner's doing, because
it
that's
works.
what I would do. Yeah, it fucking works. You gotta copy the people that are good. How long was like the whole timeline of the project? Do you guys remember, like from start to finish?
I think we started,
from when we started working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we started in like the summer, didn't we? and then it kind of just came about around Christmas.
I got Twitter DMs up because I was looking at some screenshots that I wanted to show. So hold on. June 30, 2022. Oh wait, no. This is. Oh yeah, so we got the second song at like June 26, 2022. So that was pretty early in the process when we changed songs.
Okay, that wasn't like an end thing.
So wait, did we start before that? Because I swear it was like
we might
June we
have started
started.
Hold on, I'm scrolling
That's
further
mad.
up.
While Tanner's doing a little detective work, I'm gonna ask Doofa, what's your favorite sniper in all of Destiny 2?
In Destiny 2, weirdly, I mean, it changes, but most of the time, and especially judging from my clips, it is the Luna Nullis as a green sniper.
Yeah, I love that shit, bro.
Bro, I don't know why. Like, I used it once on Xbox, hit a Slayer, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep using it. And since then, I hit some of my best clips with it. I was like, bro, doesn't even have any good perks at all. Just, you know.
That's interesting, though. Like, it has no perks, but you can still destroy people with it. Tanner, you have some results for us?
I found it June 19, 2022. You mentioned can I read it out? It's just the idea you had. You're like, picture this, we pick up where we left off. My character just slaying a bunch of Cabal, and then he explains the whole idea.
Bros,
and so yeah, that's the first one. Yeah. And I was like, we can definitely do something like that.
Yeah, all the Cabal
and then we just went on to
ground.
discuss. Yeah. So that's when it started.
And then it was uploaded on this video on Doofa's channel. It was the 23rd of December. So it was basically exactly 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tanner, what would you say your like average time for a project is? Obviously, you know, like they're
Probably
all different,
about
but like.
Well, okay. If I'm working on that project with all of my time, 2 weeks, no problems.
Regardless of how long
like
it has
a good
to be,
project.
2 weeks.
Yeah, like I'm talking like one of my like proper ones with the 3D and stuff. But that's if I'm spending like I wake up at 7 and I work all the way to 10.
Yeah.
And then go to sleep,
really
and then I wake up the next day 7 to 10 all week. So like now I can't do that because like I work a 9 to 5 and stuff too. So it's just I can't do that anymore. But generally my projects take like 2, 3, 4 months roughly because some of them are bigger and smaller. The smaller ones I can get in like 1 month. But it's just like balancing like multiple things at once. That's what holds a lot of my time. But you kind of have to make a living like that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, no one's life is like so simple that like you only have one thing to do. You always have a lot of shit on your plate. So being able to balance it, and especially now, like you mentioned, like having a job, like you do have to manage your time a lot more efficiently. You just don't have infinite time.
Yeah, so I definitely had to cut back on a lot of like work that I was taking on.
Right. So now would you take on like multiple projects at once, or like you just keep it to a few?
Like I have a couple on my plate at the moment, but I'm not like basically jumping to go looking for work basically because free time is very scarce at the moment.
The work-life balance, you have to make sure.
Yeah, exactly. So and like it's not like I need the funds because I'm not living off of editing anymore. So that's more like an extra side hustle.
Yeah.
But when the opportunity comes, and if it's someone like Doofa or like previous clients, and they've got an idea, and I've got the time, I'm down to do it. You know what I mean?
Doofa's always. Doofa calls you always like, "Fuck it, bro. Yeah, let's do it."
Of course, man.
Bro, I get an idea. I gotta get it out of my head. Simple as like.
Yeah, you get the itch.
Yeah.
Doofa, how'd you choose the name Destined? Was this completely your idea?
Yeah. So the thing is, with Destined 1, I actually had I had the seed planted about.
Bro was thinking.
I had that seed planted back in like 2016, like Rise of Iron shit. Like I saw like big montages come out, and I was like, bro, I'd love to do that one day, sort of thing.
Right.
And the name, like, I'll be honest, it just wasn't that creative with the name. I was like, Destiny, Destined, you know, it's cliche, but I saw no one did it, and I thought, fuck it, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it
And
just sounds good.
yeah.
If you see a montage and it has like a stupid name, in your opinion, a stupid name, like, does that bring it down a few pegs for you? Or are you just not even considering? Like, do you not even look at the name at all sometimes?
I mean, me personally, like if it's clearly meant to be like a piss take, then obviously I'll be like, oh, well, it's not really worth my time. But
Okay.
I
Don't
think
waste Doofa's time. Anyone out there, don't fucking waste his time.
But I think there's a few exceptions though, where when you actually watch it and see, okay, it's actually good. They're just trying to be corny or whatever. Then
Right.
that's a whole different thing. Then
Like, it feels like sometimes people think that like things have to have a title, and they don't always have to, but like a good title can help like pull together like creative vision. Like, I feel like Destined, you know, helps pull together the creative vision a little bit. Would you agree?
yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it's a good way to describe exactly like how much time and effort was put into it as well.
You were destined for a good montage.
Destined for it, exactly.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doofa, what's your favorite clip in the whole thing?
Destined 2, closer, easily.
The closer. I feel like I always ask people that, and they're like, closer, opener, closer, opener. I guess that's why
That's the reason
but-
it's a closer.
Yeah, I mean, the opener and closer, they're the two clips that I'm probably never going to hit again. You know, a triple collat and then a triple collat with one extra for the quad feed. Like,
Never
that's,
again.
That's miracle stuff right there.
I've not once gotten a triple collat, I don't think. Actually, once in momentum control with an explosive sniper.
Yeah.
Beast mode?
Yeah,
Tanner?
You see a lot of Firefly collats or Dragonfly or whatever it is now, don't you? But
Yeah.
Yo, you guys, I don't know if this has been talked about, but what if we did like Doofa edited Tanner's clips? Come on. That would be
I
sick.
could get some clips. That's funny.
Do you hit any clips, Tanner, at all?
Shit. Nowadays, when I do, I'm never recording. Like the other day, I got a Reaper with my bow. If you know me and you know that, like when I play Destiny, I play with the fucking accrued redemption from Garden of Salvation. And do you know that fucking bow, Doofa?
that's like the one
No,
raid
okay.
I haven't
Well,
played.
okay,
I
so
think.
it's so good, and it's got Rampage on it and Archer's Tempo. So like it just keeps going, and you can one shot after you get 2 kills. Just popping people in the heads. Not even in momentum control or nothing. You just one shotting people.
That's perfect.
So that's
though.
the extent
what
of
more
my
could you
clips
ask
nowadays.
for? Right.
So you crutch the Rampage Archer's tempo bow.
Yeah, well, it's not a crutch in the sense
I
because
wouldn't
if
say
I
that's a
take it off,
crutch.
I can still whoop ass probably even better without the
Yeah.
bow. Like it's honestly a bit
Dude,
harder
you
to
say
use,
you,
but
I mean, I think you probably hit some clips. I think we could organize this whole Doofa. Have you
Yeah,
done any
it would
editing
take
Doofa
me
at
some
all?
time.
Like montage editing?
Very long time ago. Very, very long time ago.
I'll give you the rundown, man. I'll give you a tutorial.
Yeah, dude, just
Some
listen
tutoring.
back.
I'm gonna
Listen
need
back
it.
to this.
I'll need it.
That's funny.
So you've mostly like,
Expectations would be low.
do you have
Yeah.
mostly experience with editing, like content wise?
Well, it
For
was
both of
first...
you.
Yeah.
both of us. You go first, Doofa, then.
Well, like I say, I started off doing a bit of both. Like, there's a bunch of unlisted and private videos I've got, but
You should make that
it's
public.
kind of... Oh God, no, they don't fit at all. It's bad. But I was kind of I'd do a montage and I'd make a funny video, you know, type of shit when everyone did that kind of thing anyway when they started playing Destiny, I think. But it kind of evolved, like when I joined Revere, that's when I started really getting into content editing because I was like, right, there's people that can actually make these montages. I can sort of feed off that hype in my content.
Right.
And it kind of just evolved from there, and ever since I've been content editing has come so smoothly after that, and you pick up on certain things and videos as well, like memes. Like you wouldn't think that that's a big part in content creation, but it is now. It's mad. Like,
Oh, dude, I love memes. Like, I will. That's like, I think when people do the little memes, like, it's so fucking funny. I love that shit. But
yeah.
it would be hard for me to think of all
I don't
this
have
shit.
the creativity.
Yeah, like to do
Yeah.
like memes and jokes like every second in content. Like, I can't do that.
Like sometimes when I'm recording a video, like even during the recording, something will happen. I'll be like, yeah, I know exactly what I'm gonna put for that. Like it just all links up as like a big spider's web in my head, sort of thing. Like,
Dude, that's crazy. I didn't know that you were so proficient at the content, but that's wild. I mean, and very cool. That's like how I feel like me and Tanner probably have like we'll like think about editing in our head and be like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
you
it just
like,
clicks.
Yeah. Very
You can
interesting.
fully visualize it without actually doing it.
Right. Okay, so Tanner, content editing and montage editing for you. How do you mix those?
Well, it was initially montage editing, like for the win, basically, because I just never had content to work on. But you know, when I got a job with Frostbolt, a few years ago, like then I was just doing it every day, like putting in hours and hours. So, like naturally, I just kind of built the skills, and like now I feel well and truly proficient because I did it for 4 years, something like that,
Maybe you guys should collab
or
with
3 years
some
almost.
content.
oh, that could be a shout
Ooh.
That
actually.
could also work.
Something that I
that
can
could also work.
actually partake in.
Doofa
Yes,
being useful? Hell yeah.
Yeah, because I'm definitely no stranger to doing that. Because I've been in some of the Primal videos and stuff, like the 6-man rumbles and shit like that. And then I edited the POVs and stuff. That was fun.
Yeah.
Doofa, I'm curious. With all of the montages you made and like your experience working with editors, like how much control over the end result do you prefer to have?
It depends on the project. Like, for example, my Beyond Light montage, for example, that was never planned. Like initially, like I had a couple editors come to me saying, "You got something for us," and because I had Scars 2 in the background, by the way, never happened. While that was going on, I thought, well, most of the clips that are going to be in that I'll just put it into this Beyond Light montage because, like I said, I hadn't heard anything. I just thought, fuck it, do it. So with that, I kind of just because I didn't plan it from the get go. I was just like, editors can do what they like, sort of thing. But in most cases, I think like with Waltz and Tanner, like I'll pitch like what I'm thinking, and then as long as like with the previews they show me, like if that links up to what I was trying to imagine, then great. Which is the case in most cases, but like I say, I like to give a lot of creative freedom, but as long as like they can kind of see where I'm at as well, and then there's that good client sort of editor balance.
Yeah, I feel like in a way you kind of can predict what they're gonna do with your ideas, so it makes you more comfortable.
Yeah,
giving them more
absolutely,
freedom.
absolutely. Yeah.
I feel like you'd probably have started to get that kind of thing with me, no Doofa. Like you've seen my edits for a while now, and you kind of know what my style looks like, so you can surely like imagine what it would look like.
And that's exactly it. When these projects happen, I make sure I know the right person to go for it. Like I'll appreciate things like the style, the pacing, and things like that. And I think, how could I get that to work for me, sort of thing. And then that's kind of how these things start. So
I would say, like, as an editor, that is like the best mindset I feel like you could have for a client or like a player. Is just that like they trust you as a creative. But on the same side of things, like obviously if it can be hard to build that trust and for people to like have faith that you're gonna do what they want, like in the way they want it. So it's difficult. It goes both ways.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going as a client, like you gotta know, in my opinion, you gotta know what to expect, like when you're working with someone, because like you could not know, because if I hadn't seen any of Waltz's or Tanner's edits before, then it would be really just wouldn't make sense for me to go to them if I didn't know what they were like, sort of thing.
Right. Like you kind of match the player with the editor.
Exactly. Yeah.
Can you tell like in that final product if the client and the editor had a good relationship versus like if they did not at all?
Yes.
Mm.
Tanner, is this evident in some of your projects? Have you ever had
No,
like a
not
bad
in
client
mine.
or no?
No, it's just like how do I put it? I just try and always get invested in my like my shit. You know what I mean? I just find a way to enjoy it somehow because I just have a passion for it for a reason.
Yeah,
But
and
I've
also
definitely
it's
seen a
your
few
like
where I
it's
could
your name's
just
on it at the
tell.
end of the day. So
For sure, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, like you see my little Luo tag at the start of every video. Like I want that to be memorable, and I want it to have the same quality. You know, I don't want it to be like, oh, you know, I paid for this and then I got this.
right,
You know?
yeah. I like the Luo tag. That's sick. I like
Yeah.
when people put effort into little like continuity things like that. You know, you get like I guess that's not really like a Easter egg, but like it's just like, oh yeah, that's Luo tag. I like that shit.
Well,
I
it
know
works.
it's gonna be a
I'm gonna use it
banger.
forever in my music shit too. Like I'm gonna have that there, like forever, and people
That's
recognize
awesome.
it. And they'll be like, "That's the shit from that one thing I randomly saw," and then like I don't know, it'll just work in the future.
It also kind of, when you see that at the beginning of something, like seeing that, it's like, oh, this is going to be good, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, people know what to expect, and when it reaches that stand, they're like, yeah, that was great.
Right.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
certainly. That makes me want to ask you, Tanner, what's where do you want to go with music in the future? Like, do you have an end goal, or are you kind of just like feeling it out?
All the way, baby. All the way.
All the fucking way. Number one on the Billboard charts.
If my life takes me there, it'll take me there. Basically, I had a lot of goals when I was 13 or so when I first started editing, right? And all of them I succeeded when I turned about 18, 19. And I realized that I was at a turning point in my life and I realized, fuck, what do I do now? And all I could really do, because I was getting a lot of just like past depression shit, just because like life changes and shit, right?
Right.
And I'm like, the only way I can get out of this is to look forward to the future and see what I can continue pushing for, because that's what I've been doing this whole time. So why not keep pushing? So I thought, how big can I take this? So that's when I started looking at things like music or 3D animation in the future, or I plan to open a music, sorry, not a music studio, a media studio in the future.
That'd be dope.
So like it'll be like
Doofa's
a
trying
whole
to get
bunch
a
of cool
fucking
stuff
job.
that I'm just
He's
building
trying to
to.
get in this.
Bro, that would be the one job offer I'd instantly pick up. Like,
Well, I'll keep that in mind for sure, because I got really big plans. I'm trying to go as big as I possibly can, and I'm around the right people that are, you know, just as like-minded. So
And
I've said just the journey
you got
that
the
I'm
right
on.
mindset. You know,
yeah.
there's no other mindset to have, I think, because you'll just get eaten up by people that have that mindset.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the way I see it is, I'm in a position to do it, so why the fuck wouldn't I do it? Because there's so many people that
Exactly.
like are in a much worse off position and they're still killing it. You know.
Oh yeah.
So why can't I do the same?
Also, I mean, I'm not trying to get out here and like gas you up, but like I thought your music was good. I fucking liked it. So
Thank you,
I don't
man.
think
I
that
appreciate
like
it.
I know like sometimes people are like, "Oh, get into music," and it's like pukey and it's like dog shit. And you're like, okay, like,
Yeah, and you gotta
stop.
pretend to like it.
Yeah. But I mean, I really liked yours, and I feel like you can, with that mindset, and I know your creative ability. Like, I know that you could obviously do like whatever you set your mind to. So it makes me excited to see what happens in the future with your music.
I really appreciate it.
You see that Luo tag come up, you know it's gonna be good,
bro.
right?
I'm excited. Actually, what's up?
I mean, the Luo tag fucking gets me hyped. Gets me so hyped.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy to know, because like when I first made it, I knew I wanted that kind of effect, but I wondered how long it would take for that to happen. You know.
Right. But now
it's just satisfying that
it's definitely that position now, I'd say.
Hell yeah, man.
So
feels good.
So Tanner, I also want to ask if you have any specific goals, like on the editing side of things. Like, is there something that you really want to do that you haven't yet?
Okay, so my editing specifically, it's kind of at a plateau. The most I'm like working towards at the moment, it's like visual effects for music videos and stuff, because I've been editing a lot and filming a lot recently. And getting more into that, because I just want to live a more active life anyways, so filming's a lot better. But yeah, just experimenting with different kind of scenes and shit and visual effects and 3D incorporating in with film and all that kind of stuff. That's where I'm, looking towards in that sense.
Right. It sounds sick, and I feel like that's definitely evident in your projects you've done already. That like you've started down that path of like just expanding ways you can apply your creative vision, and that's
Yeah.
always going to pay off in the end and have a really good result that I feel like people will notice. You know, when you start taking more risks creatively and growing what you can create and what you could like mold your vision to, then your entire creative profile improves.
Yeah.
So staying on the editing sort of Destiny side of things, Doofa, some long-term goals with Destiny, with content, with gaming. Let's hear it.
Well, like I say, I'd love to just keep up what I'm doing. To be honest, like it's going to be weird because Destined II, like I say, is sort of a best of montage. So it's going to be weird to try and top that in the future. But with the way things are looking up with the game as well, though, it could be a possibility. You know, like so with that in mind, that's a good sort of fuel, sort of drive to keep making the content along with it. And like I say, hopefully something comes to that.
Right. Like when the game is doing well, like the platform upon which we stand is doing well, like we can feel that it's just easier to get hyped about doing things and like feel motivated. So on that topic of the game, I want to ask both of you if you could make one major change to the PvP sandbox, and Bungie had to do it, whatever you told them, what would you do?
Just bring back scavengers and keep them. Simple.
You think just that would make a big difference?
For 6v6 Crucible anyway, I do feel like I said it briefly in my recent video as well, like just with how strong abilities are and stuff like that, like I know a lot of people when you have that conversation with the typical Destiny 2 fan, they'll say abilities make the game sort of thing, which they're not wrong, but at the same time it's like I'm spending hours grinding for a weapon and I can't use it, you know, it doesn't make sense. So
Right.
I think if they brought scavengers back, maybe not stackable or whatever, but I think that would, especially from the clip hitting side of things as well, make things a lot more fun.
It would open up your opportunities to hit more clips.
100%. Like Destined 3 would come around so much quicker then.
Hold that thought.
Yeah.
All right, Tanner, what do you think about PvP?
That's a really tough question because there's a lot of shit that needs to change. But honestly, I think having just like a really in-depth ranked system that keeps the fucking nerds in that playlist, because it's fucking fun playing against nerds in that shit for a reason. And there's shit to strive for. You've got all these hectic ass emblems that nobody can get because they all fucking suck at the game. And you can flex on these motherfuckers because you're playing in this playlist. And guess what? Control, quick play, all the shit that's connection based will actually feel fucking connection based because you're not playing against nerds all the time because they're off in the other playlist. Because at the moment, everyone's just getting bottlenecked into the one playlist.
Nerds
and
like
it's
Doofa.
just like, exactly. I would never want to fucking play against this guy. And I wear that shit with pride.
Oh,
Fuck
bro,
that shit,
honestly,
dude.
Bro, he would cook us.
I'm washed, bro.
Tanner and I are getting fucking headshot slayered quad feed by Doofa.
That's it.
For
I
sure.
wish.
My own death.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm that consistent, but
dude, I did a Scoob reviews with Ducky last night, and I was asking him about like how many clips he could hit in like one play session at his like peak of hitting clips, and he said that he could hit like all the clips for a 3-minute montage in like one day.
Yeah,
he's
he
insane.
was a savage for a fucking while there.
He is actually insane now. He's not. I mean, he's a duck. We know that.
Actually, it's a duck.
But he's just not human, bro. He's
it's a freak at the game.
Absolutely insane, bro. Like, for me, I think I could get like clip hitting is just very luck based in my experience. Because like with those 2 triple collapse, I managed to hit them in 1 month, and then like for ages. And then like for ages, like a month or so would go by where I'd hit like the odd lights out or whatnot, but nothing good really came out. And then eventually I'd hit a Slayer or something, and then it would end the dry streak, but nothing consistent, at least nothing like them anyway. That's insane.
He's a duck. He's not human for a reason. All right, so now I'm curious about. I don't know how much PVE you guys play, but I feel like that might make an interesting question. Is I want to know if you have a strong opinion about PvP, or PVE, something that needs to change.
I couldn't possibly give an opinion on PVE.
No
It's
opinion.
never been it's never been particularly my strong point. I mean, one of the videos I'm working on at the moment is a Grandmaster, and
Whoa, PVE god!
yeah, no, you're gonna watch and you won't be saying that. Absolutely not. But
Hard to
I don't
say.
know.
It has less like obvious holes
Yeah.
than PvP. I mean, obviously we know like they don't really pay that much attention to PvP.
I think the main thing is like just loot based, really. So if there was like some actual and let's face it, there is some good loot in the PvE playlist. Like you get adept weapons and stuff now, and that's class. Like, but I don't know, maybe see more of that. Yeah, maybe I'm asking for too much, but
You know what would fully sell it for me is if they made Destiny like open world in the sense that you get your ship and you can fucking fly in your ship off the planet and then go fly to Mars, or you go fly to the Crucible hub or whatever. Like the Crucible hub's like an actual ship that you fly to and then you fucking play, right? Or you can fast travel if you don't want to do that, but like that would sell the game for me, because then imagine the opportunities of fucking flying ship battle Crucible game mode. You know what I'm saying?
bro,
Like they did that shit in Halo Reach years ago. Why the fuck can't they do it now, man? Doesn't make sense.
Dude.
It's like we've been asking for space battles for years.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when Taken King came out and that trailer came out where it's the Awoken
I thought they were
versus...
gonna add it.
Yeah, so did I. And then I was like, there's that one scene where the ship gets blown out of the Dreadnought. I was like, oh, that was cool, I suppose. But
I wish I could have played it. It would have been better if I was like in the middle of it. It's cool watching it.
Bro, especially when there are exotic ships now and things like that as well. It's like, cool, they look cool, but why do I care if it's exotic?
Yeah.
Like, can I
It's
actually
like
use
a
it?
whole other element to the game that they're fully missing that they could totally just add.
Yeah, instead of recycling stuff, that is an original idea.
Doofa, they should hire you at Bungie. You can be
like I say, I'll take it.
God damn, this bro's looking for work. Hit him up. Now you should wait, Doofa. You should work at the pub.
Bro.
Seems like a good.
Nah, I'd be pouring myself points. I'd be out on the
Get
first
off your shift and you're stumbling home.
Maybe you could be like a promoter. Don't they get to drink and do their job? Like pub promoter. Shit, dude. If you were outside a pub and you're like, yo, come in, have a pint with me, I'd be like, absolutely, sir. Say less.
Bro's making me sound like an alcoholic, honestly.
No. Dude, I thought you said you live at the pub. What the fuck?
I'm jealous.
I go a few times a week, but
Tanner, what's the pub scene like in Australia?
Pub scene, old people.
Damn.
Club scene. Yeah, it's just
Slightly
a bunch
less
of just
older people.
degenerates. No, it's like old people like
God.
18 plus, pretty much. Like just 18, 19, 20 to about maybe 26 would be like maybe
Club
27
scenes
to
like that
28.
here
That's
as
other
well.
clubs.
Yeah.
It's just like nasty. Like I used to live in the city, right? Like smack dead in the middle where all the clubs are. And Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, you go for a walk and it's nighttime and it's just vomit everywhere on the sidewalk and just piss everywhere and shit. It's fucked. Cause and there's just people out in the street yelling, "Oh fuck this, fuck that," and you're just like, "Yep, just going to get my fucking milk." Cause
Bro,
I just had to walk to the store.
That's why I go to the pub way more than I go clubbing, because it is just so much more civilized. Like it's where I can go for a drink and not be bathed on.
Interesting. So, Doofa, you fancy the pub scene more. What about you, Tanner? Would you fancy a pub or a club?
Honestly, I don't fancy either of those. I fancy at home. Come bring some drinks, man. Bring something to smoke, and we're having a good time, man. That's what I fancy.
Yeah.
Dude,
we'll jam some tunes.
I hear that Tanner's hosting a party. That's what I hear.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're hosting a little get together at Tanner's house. Fuck, bro. Invite Promise. Invite Waltz. Invite everybody.
Yeah, we'll get everyone. We'll drink up and then we'll go through all my mistakes in my videos. Like, bro, what the fuck is that cinematic, man? What is that shake?
That is messed up. All right. Last thing I want to ask is, all right, bro, Destined 3. What's the plan?
At the moment, it's very open.
Up in the air.
Like I say, yeah. I'd need to hit clips for it first. Like I say, it's a best of series, so it would
Just
take a
when
very
it
long
comes, it
time.
comes.
Yeah.
Okay. When it's needed, it will be here.
Exactly.
But it's not needed right now, so it's not here.
It'll catch people by surprise. I'd like to think it's gonna catch me by surprise, to be honest. But,
Facts, bro. You don't even have the clips yet.
Exactly.
Just surprise yourself with the clips. But
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
do you think that like clip hitting has a bright future, or depends? Hard to say.
I don't think it will ever really lose its potential, but it like anything else, it has its ups and downs. Like I personally couldn't say it has a future or not, but the possibility of it, like that, does look bright, but
Yeah,
it's so difficult to say because like one moment it's like the next big thing, next moment it's like to the side sort of thing. So
it's like garbage. Yes.
yeah,
There's like barely anyone doing it.
yeah.
That is an unfortunate reality of being shackled to Destiny. Is you're also shackled to its popularity, but
Indeed.
sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
That's
As
what
is
it
life.
Yes, as is life, according to philosopher Doofa. All right, is there anything that we haven't talked about specifically with the montage that you guys want to bring to light that like nobody knows? The whole like the doing the song thing was like that was crazy. Like redoing the second song, like something like that.
I can't really think of anything like that. Though I did have some screenshots that I put in our chat just from the early stuff that I wanted to show you.
Ooh.
But other than that, that's about it. Because I just saw them while I was scrolling through the DMs. I figured I'd put them in. It's just some like previews of the character and the lighting and the scene and stuff like that.
Oh yes, I see. Oh, that's lit. Yeah, let me show these.
Yeah, it was always good to see those as well, like during the
Just wanted him
process.
to see like what I was working on because that process does
Yeah.
take a bit of time. So I don't want to just leave him hanging thinking what's happening.
Right. Yeah, that's sick. I like that you can show a little bit of like the background, that went into it. So we have character. I don't know if you guys are watching the stream, but yeah, I'm showing like the.
Oh yeah, I see.
Very nice. Did you like? How much of this model did you change versus like what you just downloaded?
So I got the diffuse and the normal texture. Actually, yeah, I used the diffuse and the normal texture. So the diffuse is just the color, and the normal texture, it's like the detail bumps. Because if you don't know anything about 3D animation or 3D modeling, basically there's all made up with vertices, the shape. But the more vertices there is, the more taxing it is on your computer. So in order to get away with those extra details that would require a lot of vertices on a shape, instead of putting it into the model itself, they put it on a texture and they kind of trick the lighting to make it look like it's more detailed than it is. So I took that, and that's from the game. But then I added my own custom stuff. Like for example, on the leather chest, I had my own leather texture, and I did metallic on the arms, and I had my own surface imperfections and shit. So
yeah,
I just kind of went
Shit
into
looks
the
nice.
details and stuff and added some roughness edges and shit. And yeah, just thinking what it would actually be made out of, and then finding my own high quality texture for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn.
So that's just what I went for.
Bro popped off. Fucking mad nice 3D. That is very cool. All right, Varia, did you think of anything you want to say about Destined 2? Either of you? Any fun facts? Is there what is there any area that you would go back and change in retrospect?
I don't think so. No, like I just really like the video.
10 out of 10
Yeah.
is perfect.
Like obviously there's like little details that I could go back and nitpick, like, oh, this cinematic gets cut earlier, or like put before something else here and there, or whatever, stuff like that. But that's just all nitpicking that I never really give a shit enough about to actually do it, because
Right.
I know I'm never gonna fully like it. Like every video I have, there's always those tiny little things that I wish I could just slightly change, but I
Yeah.
don't pay attention to it because they're always going to be there no matter what I do.
Yes. 100%.
And you can make the video worse trying to fix those things. So like I'd
Yeah.
rather not do that and just keep the integrity of the art when it was created. So
Right. Oh, most certainly. Doofa? Anything you think needs improvement?
I'd probably put less flawless execution clips in, even though I'd like to think I chose the best ones that I've hit that aren't too broken. But like I say, that's the thing with the best of, it is actually just all the best clips I considered to be suitable. So
like it's not like a no flawless execution, Taj. It's just the best clips.
best
You kept
clips,
it
yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, there's some banger clips. They're good. I know you're probably gonna be like, I can hit better clips now, but I mean, I can't do any of this shit, so to me, it's cool. And you're using a green sniper, which is like very impressive.
yeah, the Lunanullus is good.
Damn, that's the Doofa special.
Yeah.
The Doofa signature. All right, I've kept this brother up long enough. It's very late for you. I think it is time we wrap up the Scoob reviews. Any closing thoughts?
No, not really. Just
Not really, no.
you gotta plug myself and all that.
Yes,
follow the
please,
socials,
yes.
all that shit. I got a song dropping in a week, music video on my YouTube channel. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, definitely check that out if you're listening and you're interested. But yeah, Doofa, any plugs, bro?
I've got some content lined up. Other than that,
Nice.
there could be actually what I might say. I don't know how much of this I can say and get away with.
Oh shit.
Scoob knows.
Oh,
Scoob knows
shit.
what I'm talking about. But
Maybe I do. Maybe I don't.
there is it's definitely not the. It's still just the beginning. There's a couple things that are around the corner for
We're building
me,
steam. We're building steam.
Yeah.
We're stockpiling our power, as they say. That's all.
Stockpiling that 50 million power.
Yes.
Fair enough.
But there's plans. There's plans in the works. We cannot share the plans because the haters will
Not yet.
sabotage us.
That's
But
fine. I'm moving in silence. Everybody stay in your lane.
yes,
Oh, absolutely.
sir. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that fucking does it. This was a good as fuck Scoob reviews. Thank you both of you for coming. If anyone's in the stream,
No problem.
I didn't look at it at all, but if you're in the stream, thanks for watching. If you're on YouTube, also thank you for
Thank
watching.
you, Scoob.
And if you have any questions about the montage you want them to answer, sauce it in the comments, and maybe they will see it and answer your question. So there you go.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everybody.
All right,
We're
sounds
signing
good.
off. You guys want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye, guys. Just for
So
watching.
long.